Right, hi, welcome to the channel. My name's Pete. This episode we're going to be covering the Driffield to Malton railway line. I'm stood in what is the former cattle yards, where they used to drop cattle off. Behind me you can see the old sugar mill. There's some old railway lines that go across there still. Most of these have been pulled up. There is an active line over there, so we'll stay clear of that. I hope you enjoy this episode. If you do, please like, share and subscribe. So over there is the old platform. There used to be sidings running down here, and if we look down on the roadway there, we can still see some traces of train track, what would have gone through into there, which would have been the old cake and sugar mill. Let's get a bit closer to those for you. You can still see them there, and they go right over there and they come out on the other side of the road there. So let's go and have a look and see if there's anything left of these platforms. This is at the back of what remains of the old cattle platforms. This would have been an important platform to the Driffield and Malton railway. It was mainly agriculture and cattle as well as passengers, and then later in its life it was a lot of quarry work, lime, chalk. So we've still got an original gate post in situ here. If we look at that, you can still see we've got gate fastenings on there. And if we go through here, there's the other one at the other side there. And this is the site of the old platform. As you can see, it's terribly overgrown. There is a fence up, so we can't get to the edge, but I can go over the top with the camera. I can show you the edge of it, still down there, going all the way along, and then that's back up towards the mill where we just were. Okay, let's continue on our journey. Still on what's left of the cattle dock. I remember years ago, and it looks like it might even still be here, an old railway carriage. It's going to be virtually impossible to get to today, but that looks like it's there. I'll try and get a little bit closer so you can see the side of it. Things I go through for this channel. It's well overgrown now, but that, to me, no, I don't think it could be. I'm not certain. There's no way to get into it or any closer, but I don't think it is. It looks like it's made out of metal, and I remember the one being here being made of wood. So during World War II, this platform was also used for unloading ammunition, and during World War II this line was important for the military services, supplying ammunition and equipment to airfields around here, which there were a great number of. There's probably at least 5 within sort of 10 miles of where I'm stood right now. So that is the old cattle station at Driffield Dock. And I've got with me today my brother Steve. There he is. He's been an advisor on this, as he's got a lot of knowledge about trains. So this is what used to be the old signalman's cottage or gate crossing cottage. You can see by the chimneys up there, and if we look on the top, it's got that hole in it. And there used to be a signal box here as well. I'll try and find a picture of that up and put that up for you, and I'll show you what the crossing's like now next to the old cattle platforms. So where I am now is on Driffield train station. This was opened in 1946 as the Hull to Bridlington branch. Now George Hudson had the idea of opening a train station, well, not train station, sorry, a train line from Driffield to Malton, commonly called the Malton Dodger. for reasons that will come apparent a bit later on. It's not changed much, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, it's got a different roof on it. It did used to have a full roof, and I'll show you that. I'll turn the camera around and we'll have a look at the station. So at the time when Driffield was open, it was owned by the York and North Midland Railway. I believe George Hudson was on the board of directors at that point, and he formed the Malton and Driffield Railway Company, and it would have been from this train station going down these tracks and then splitting off further up there past the next crossing, which we'll go to. I just wanted to show you Driffield train station because it's got a history of its own. It's actually still got a waiting room. We can't get in it today, but it is locked up. But if I can put the camera in there for you, it's got original benches in there still. Yeah, painted. I remember when these were dark brown actually. But there's also the fireplace as well, just down there. So all fairly original still in there at Driffield train station. There is some pictures of this place, and I will put some up for you. Round about there used to be a W.H. Smith's serving station, serving hatch. That's the entrance. Locked up today because the train station is closed. I've come here on New Year's Day. And there used to be a signal box just in there, and there are some pictures of that taken from over the road, so we'll stand over there and we'll take some shots of that, and then we'll continue on to the next junction. This is Beverley Road crossing. This is where the Malton Dodger would have come through, approximately there, crossed over the road almost to where I'm stood, which is now here. There's a new estate being built over there, and that estate is called North Box Road, because right here, where you can see that overgrowth where Stephen stood, is the site of the old signal box at Beverley Road crossing. There is a picture of that, and I'll put that up for you to have a look at. Okay, so after Beverley Road, this is the first major obstacle for the Malton and Driffield railway line, and I am stood exactly where the bridge used to be, and I remember this bridge. Now I'm going to zoom in and show you. We've got the evidence of that with coping stones here, in there. You can just see some brickwork been knocked down. That housing estate there, that street's called Burdale Close. Now if we look down into the water, we can see old coping stones. That one there you can see has got a shape to it, and down here is some old brickwork. Now there is a little bit more left than that, because if I show you where I'm stood, we've got more brickwork, coping stones, and an actual buttress to a bridge. That is really small, clearly single track, and we'll just go across the front of it, and I'll go over to the top of it so you can have a look across the top of it as well. There we go, that's what's left of the first bridge out of Driffield on the Malton and Driffield railway line. I'm going to stand right in the middle of it, and I'm going to show you where we're going next. Trees in the way. This is now a field, a grazing field. And what we're going to do is, I'm going to follow that path right up there, because that clump of trees in there is our next destination. There is something left to say there was a track here, just a little bit further up, and I'll show you that when we get there. Just before I leave this bridge, if we look down at my feet, and then my brother Steve's picked some of this stuff up, so he's just going to tell you a little bit about that.
This is clinker from a firebox of a steam engine. And what they would done is they would travel along, they would move the grate and get it all to drop out at the bottom so they could refire the locomotive to a better standard.
Just more evidence of the train track that once crossed here. So where I've walked from now, from that bridge, is there. This would have been a raised embankment. And just a little bit further along from where I am, 2 gate posts. Actually, not to a field, no fence either side. You see my shadow there, sorry. These were originally gate posts across the line. Now, although there's no traces of that track there's no embankment, when we look down on here, we can see at the bottom of them gate posts, it's raised up, and it's probably raised up about a foot from there down to there. Just got a little bit more evidence for the track that was here. The gate's still here, still got the hinges on. I can tell I'm a foot higher up when I'm on this side of the gate compared to that side. And whoever used it last closed it, and it's still closed. So with the bridge behind me that we've just gone to, it crossed straight across there. The Driffield bypass wasn't here, that was built in 1981 I think. And then there is a little bit of track bed just there, and then there is a gatehouse, so we'll go see that next. So I've crossed the bypass, the gate posts are there. That is the track bed, and we'll continue on a bit more. So here now we're at a crossing. This was a gatekeeper's cottage, now a private residence. It's called the gatehouse. The track was at this side running across there. If I turn around and just look here, the gate post out on its own, and that's what the gates would have been attached to, blocking this road off from traffic. There'd have been another one probably around there somewhere. Track goes from up there, crossing the road here and up there. Now you used to be able to walk up there, but it's all been fenced off now. It looks like private land. And it's follow those trees all the way up there, and that'll take us to our next destination. Okay, so I've zoomed right in there. What you can see is that little gap in the fence. Over there is a clump of trees, and on the other side of that is the gatehouse that we've just come from. The line would have run through that gap in the hedge there, all the way up to where I am now. I'm going to zoom out because that's quite a distance off, and that's there. So as you can see, that's a fair distance off, and the track would have run more or less where I'm stood through here into this clump of trees. Now it's difficult to see on camera, but that clump of trees goes from there to there, and there would have been a farm crossing here. Now there is some remains in that little clump of wood, and it's a square, and I'll put on an aerial map for you, an old map, so you can see what was there, like some kind of old gatehouse. Now to get us a bit more perspective, that forest or wood that you can see there is the back of Driffield RAF camp. Now I've read online that the Driffield to Malton train track had military pillboxes and bunkers along its route, but nobody's been able to say they've found any evidence of it. But I've found something here, so I don't know whether this is something to do with the RAF camp or whether it's to do with the train line, or both. The train line was used for military purposes, particularly for the airfields, as I mentioned earlier, and there is a really good intact bunker here. And we can get inside and we'll have a look. I think this is a Type 22 bunker. Let's have a look in there. I have covered one of these bunkers before. Goodness me, it's a bit of a small entrance hall. And we'll just let the light adjust. So as we're looking inside now, we've still got some metalwork in position around the slit holes. And there we go. Wow, this is pretty cool. Probably one of the most intact ones I've seen in a long time. I don't know if it's too bright. That's there. And this window here is looking out over to the camp and the railway track. So this is pretty cool. Never knew this was here. And we'll go back outside. So that's pretty cool inside there. I'm really pleased with that. Whether that's to do with the railway line or the airfield or both, not really certain. So we'll go into this little wooded area and we'll have a look around there. Hope you've enjoyed that episode. Next we're going to go into this wooded area here, but you're going to have to hit subscribe, like and share to see what's going on in there. Alright, thank you.